Today is the 3rd day of July. 10 months since Hurricane Dorian has passed through the island of Abaco, and the storm is still brewing, called the FNM government. The 3rd of July 2020 in the Bahamas, the headline reads, "Confusion over COVID-19 test." Then the Tribune was said, "It's beyond outrageous that the government brought in over 100 Mexican workers into this country without getting a COVID-19 test." Kai Mills has been saying for over 12 years that Baker's Bay is the most corrupt resort to have ever entered into this country. When you see they had 3 prime ministers in their back and front pocket, 3 prime ministers in my lifetime has been solely being fed by Baker's Bay for Baker's Bay to break all the rules. And the head marshal at the head of the corruption is Dr. Livingston Marshall, that was there with Clint Watson on TV, throwing the Bahamian workforce out to sea with the sharks and say we're not worthy of working in Baker's Bay. Only the little short, dun-grow, slick-haired, light-skinned Mexicans can build this Baker's Bay. I asked Dr. Livingston Marshall, did Mexicans build your house? Did Mexicans build Parliament? Did Mexicans build Nassau? Or were they Bahamians? But I know Dr. Marshall, as dirty and ugly he is, he gonna try to pay some doctors in Mexico to say that these people had the test. In my hearts of heart, I know they didn't have the test because that's Baker's Bay. We don't need the test. Y'all come. It's open season. That is the way Baker's Bay has been operating for over 12 years. Every rules to break. Remember the swamp that they swore they were not gonna touch? They dig them out to find room to make a concrete jungle. To hell with the environment. It's all about Baker's Bay. 12 years later, they still haven't hooked up into the country's grid with Bahama Power and Light. They have not built a library, a police station, all the stuff that they said they were gonna build in Guanakee has not happened. I saw the advert that Baker's Bay is gonna build 46 brand new homes. Was that some kind of a bribery to ease the tension of sneaking these people into the country? Kai Mills would like to ask Bahamian people, is it worth it for Baker's Bay to build you some little clapboard house free of charge to bring some 100+ workers into this country, and you die from COVID-19 and then have a chance to enjoy your home? It's a free home worth your health. That is the question that Kai Mills want to ask the government and the people of Abaco. You see, if those of you have watched the movie Django Unchained with Samuel L. Jackson, there's a character on there named Steven. He looks exactly like Dr. Livingston Marshall. Black, ugly, burned up lip, a house Negro. That's all Dr. Marshall is for Bakers Bay. The partners have no respect for him. He's a gopher. Go get and break the laws. Give us the amount. You see, Kai Mills did video for 11 years telling you who Bakers Bay was. That Bakers Bay and the government got together and sent me to Fox Hill prison for 10 days because I was telling people that you have a constitutional rights to defend yourself. You have a right in this country. Foreigners can't come here and treat you any kind of way. They send me in Fox Hill prison. Guess who in court with 2 lawyers? Dr. Marshall in Bakers Bay had 2 lawyers every day in court trying to make sure to silence Kai Mills. So far, after going to prison for speaking, I just speak out. And I've done it for Abaco. Ask yourself, has there been anybody that spoke for people of North Abaco that ended up in jail? I spoke for the girls at Great Abaco Beach Hotel. They put me before the courts saying that they were afraid of me. Management at Boat Harbor said they were afraid of me. They want me off the property. I asked them, I haven't spoke to y'all in over a year. They confirmed that Kai Mills never spoke to them in over a year, but they feel afraid if I'm on the property. My argument when they brought me before the court, Boat Harbor Marina, I say I come and drop off, I pick off. I am a professional at all times on your property. You don't have the authority to ban me off the property because you're afraid of me, because I am also afraid of you. Well, I was put off the only hotel in Abaco for 1 year because some white folks, a white little boy, Andrew Sweeting, was afraid of Kai Mills. Andrew Sweeting had the power to ban an elected official, a taxi driver that did no crime, have no criminal record. He could go before the courts in Abaco and demand that I be put off Boat Harbor for 1 year. Boat Harbor is not above the law, but in Abaco, that's the way it is when you speak. Bakers Bay sent me to jail for 5 days because I speak. I've been telling you all a long time ago, I could wave my flags. What has happened yesterday when all these Mexicans came in without a COVID-19 test, every one of them that goes to Maxwell's, any other shop in Abaco, can expose everybody in Abaco to the virus. So in essence, everything that Kai has been selling you about Bakers Bay is coming in full circus. As Dr. Marshall trying in the newspaper today to try to make the Bahamian people feel at ease. The competent authority is the Prime Minister of the country. The Chief Medical Officer said that she have no results from either of these persons that would come in. Don't care what happened afterward. She's supposed to have the results of the test before they enter into this country. They went into Nassau. They could expose Bahamas Air flight attendant, Bahamas Air pilots, the ticket agents, the porters, and of course they could expose Kai Mills because I was at the airport in close proximity of them taking photos. So my life could also be at stake. Then you had Audric on the boat carrying him to Bakers Bay. his life could be exposed. The girls that were acting at Porter's yesterday, taking the people's bags, they could be handling COVID-19 bags. The bus driver that drove them, hundreds of them, to Bakers Bay Ferry, they could be exposed. Only it take a spark to start a fire. There's so much literature coming out of this. But the question is, if Dr. Dwayne Sands was compelled to resign after letting 6 inside here, surely the Prime Minister ought to resign for letting hundreds into Nassau and Abaco without the test. Remember, Kai Mills was locked in Nassau? I was locked in Nassau for 2.5 months. A month of trying to get the COVID-19 test. I got it twice. The last time I got it, I had it 3 weeks I've already took the test. And they disallowed Kai Mills to come back into Inter-Island, into my birthplace of Abaco. Without the test, they said I couldn't come as a Bahamian, as a raw-bone Abaconian coming back home where there is no COVID-19, supposedly until these Mexicans arrive. So then, if Bahamians, students, couldn't come from Florida, all over America, black, indigenous Bahamians, black Bahamians couldn't come back home. How could these slick hair, dun-grow Mexicans were allowed to come back in the hundreds without any tests? How could these Mexicans get a pass and Bahamians couldn't come? Because of that 25 corrupt dollars, 25 million that the great white shark Brent Simonet, the contract that he secured for him and the Prime Minister of the country. That is the deal of the 25 million to do and to let whatever Bakers Bay want. Bakers Bay should be ashamed also, because these guys could be bringing COVID-19 into their lucrative guest houses. How would it look that these Mexicans brought COVID-19 into the homes of the guests of Bakers Bay? It's one of these Kai Care videos. It's early, the 3rd day of July, the day before America independence. And I want to wish all my friends in America happy independence. I'm not happy to be independent Bahamian. We got too many crooks at the top. Over 100 people were let in here, and neither one of them has had the COVID-19 test. We are all in trouble in Abaco. Kai cares. That's why he's still here.